Hey guys, this is Barry, and thought I'd just give you guys a quick video update on my last session, my last couple of weeks. So overall, did okay, but I just had such a bad session that it wiped away pretty much half my profit for the whole month in just one session alone. So that kind of sucked, but overall, happy with how I'm playing so far. So we'll see, this was the full month, and then this was just today alone, this one session right here. So we'll go ahead and just have a look at some of those hands. So yeah, here's the month view. You can see, had a couple bad days, but not too bad, a lot of good days. And then we had today. So go ahead and play some of these hands for you guys. And I'm going to turn only hero card on. Okay. So ace king standard, we want to raise it up top of the range. We flop our ace, awesome. Go in for a little check raise, just pretty standard. I could have led out, but check raise is okay too. The dynamic with this player, he was very aggressive. I knew he would bet if I checked to him, so went for the check raise instead. And he decides to jam. I pretty much have to call here for a lot of reasons. Again, this player is really aggressive. There's a lot of hands that he can do this with that I have beat right now, like 9-10, flush draw, ace queen, all sorts of hands like that. So I don't really think there's many hands besides ace jack, jacks, and eights really that have me beat here, and I have all the rest. So I think this is a pretty easy call against that range. So I make the call, and he of course has the old jacks. So kinda sucks, but again, I think it's the right play against his range. We're ahead. So here we got fives, and okay, this is interesting as well. So this player has been just nuts. He's been jamming over me like crazy. And I had jammed on him earlier with ace king, and he called it off with like 7-5 offsuit, things like that. So I'm happy to get it in against this guy with fives and play as a slight favorite, knowing that he'll call me with slightly worse, and I'll just be flipping a lot of the times. But in this case, he had ace king, and we just lost the coin flip. So here we have aces. Easy game, right? Just raise it up. Pretty safe board. And then he min check raises. So usually what this means is some kind of a draw, maybe a big combo draw like 5-6 of clubs, or ace 3 of clubs, something like that. So all those hands, those straight draws, the flush draws, pocket nines, pocket tens, like all those hands will think they're ahead right now. So there's just so many hands that he would play this way that I have beat. So I definitely want to go all in and get him to get it in bad. He makes the call, and he had a set this time. So just like one of 3 hands or whatever that actually have me beat, and he had it this time. So queen jack, it is a dominated hand in a sense, but again, this guy was pretty aggressive, and his open in the cutoff is pretty wide. So just having position regardless of the 2 cards, I'll be in a good spot against this player because I know he can make a good fold. I know he's somewhat thinking. So but then we get 3-bet out of the small blind, which is really strong. But after with 2 callers, I'll have absolute position and relative position. So like it's a really good spot for me to just make the call here and try to take a flop. So we flop a gut shot and a backdoor flush, and we have 2 overs. So our hand, even though we only have queen high right now, if everybody gets all the money in, like I would expect to have the right price to draw to my straight or to a pair or anything like that. Now if I believe these guys have overpairs, which they're pretty much representing right now, I maybe shouldn't have made this call, but at the time I thought that it's possible that they could have a hand like nines or ace king or ace queen, and or pocket sixes or all sorts of hands like that. So I kind of convinced myself to make the call. I probably could have folded, but I don't think the call is too bad because I do have a lot of redraws. So I make the call. We get three-way, but I was up against kings and aces, so two hands, which put me in I was a pretty big dog there. So that was not such a great hand. So here we have ace king, pretty standard to 3-bet, and obviously I'm happy to just get it in pre-flop. And he shows up with the old 6-4 offsuit, so really nice by him, good hand. Here I'm against one blind, so I go for the steal with my 6-7 off. He makes the call. And I hit a really big flop here. I have top pair and open-ended straight draw and backdoor diamonds if he has a smaller diamond. So I flopped pretty big here, and we end up just getting it all in on the flop. And he showed up with eights. So, given how that went, there are so many hands that he could have played his hand that way. So if he had a hand like pocket sevens, he would play it that way, or a flush draw, or if he had a three, like ace three of diamonds, over pairs. Like even if I thought he had eights, nines, or tens, like my hand is still pretty strong against that. So he showed up with eights, and we didn't make it this time to the river. So here I have sixes. I open. Probably should have opened for more than that, but this player does 3-bet a lot, hence why I made the call. And I actually misplayed this hand. I remember it now. Just because he's pretty aggressive, and I would expect to be able to take it down. I told myself before the flop that if the board got really dirty for sixes, I would just fold, but I just got it in my head that he is going to be bluffing here a lot, and the king is a good card for him to bluff, so he was going to use it. So my rationale was he would play it this way with like ace jack or ace queen, and or a flush draw that he may have just picked up, and then the queen comes off. I should definitely be check folding here, but I made the call, so this was really bad. This was a mistake for sure. Here you have ace king. We got 3-bet. Now this guy has been 3-betting like crazy as well, so I expect this to be a squeeze from him a lot. Only this player in particular. This player, it was kind of scary. I had him behind, but again, ace king, you usually get to see 5 cards. You're blocking aces and kings, so it's okay to get it in pre-flop. It's pretty standard. But we did happen to be up against aces and kings, so the blocking didn't do much in that hand. We open in the cutoff with queen jack suited, again pretty standard, and we hit a really nice flop. We have open-ended straight draw, we have middle pair, we have backdoor diamonds. So our hand's looking pretty good. We like our hand here. So definitely want to be c-betting, and we get min raised. So I mean, we could at this point be like drawing to a chop if he has ace jack, but I suspect that he would do this with a lot of kind of 2 pairs or just 1 pair of kings with a draw, like maybe king jack would do this, maybe just ace 10, hands like that. So I still like my hand here, and I think I should just make the call and see what we can see on the turn. So now we picked up a flush draw, and we're open-ended, and we have a pair, so we definitely like our hand here. And I think we end up just getting it in on the turn, and the river bricks out, and he had a king and a 9. So I think we were pretty even. I think that was kind of a flip, but of course, we lose it. Here we have aces, and it goes check check on the flop. So I already right off the bat assume he probably has nothing. This is probably going to be a small pot. Turn comes a 6. I don't really like it, but I'm like, how can he have a 6 after I 3-bet pre-flop? The only thing he can have is maybe like 6s that has me beat, or 10s, but besides that, I should definitely be ahead here. So I raised, and then he re-raises, so the only thing I was thinking that he could have here is that he rivered a set of 2s, or he's bluffing because I played my hand in such a way that it looks like I have nothing. So I thought that he's gonna have a bluff here a lot of the times, or he'll just have like one pair of 10s, like ace 10 or something like that. Maybe he has something like 3, 4. I doubt that though, so I'm thinking that this is a bluff more often than not, and I make the call with aces. But he flopped 10, so he played it well. This was one of the least hands I put him on just because of the way he played the flop in the turn, so he played it good if he knew I had aces. So 8-7 suited, it's kind of a loose open, but the way the table was playing, I thought I would get a lot of callers and see a big multi-way pot with 8-7, which is usually a good spot, and that's what happened. So we got 3-bet by the cutoff, so his hand's going to be pretty strong here. And then we have a caller out of the small blind. So 8-7 is going to play well in a multi-way pot, and then we have relative position on the 3-better. So we'll be in a pretty good spot post-flop. So we flop open-ended, and he ends up checking back, which is bad because we kind of want to check raise this board. And now we have our flush draw as well, and the queen rolls off. But the reason we just open jam all in here is I'd really like say a 10 to fold, or pocket 9s, or maybe even someone who just hit a queen with like king queen might still fold to an open jam. But if I get called, I should have a lot of outs being open-ended and having a flush draw, and just having a lot of fold equity. So I like to just jam here. And we got called, and the river bricks out, and he did have ace queen. We've got ace 10. Everyone's limped, so we try to just isolate it to one player. We c-bet the flop. It's relatively dry. The diamonds are out, but it's pretty much just queen XX. So we lead out and get called. Now we've hit our ace, which is good. So we like our hand at this point. And then the 3 comes off. I mean, it's difficult to put him on a 5 unless he has pocket 5s. So we're not too scared of the 3, and we're expecting it to get paid by hands like king queen and queen jack and different hands like that. So I mean, he could have pocket 5s, or he could have had some kind of like a 4 or 5 of diamonds or something like that. But we think our ace is good, and we think a queen will pay us here, so we bet. He calls, and he has queen 5 off, and rivered the straight, so that sucked for us, but I think it was the right play. Here we've got kings, so we open it up. Bet. Pretty standard. We're just going bet, bet, bet. And then he bets really small on the river, which seems like a blocking bet to a hand that has a 10 in it, or a random bluff or something like that. So we like 10s against the hands we think he has here. And he calls, and he had a set of 5s. So that was the session. You can see a lot of big coolers, just one after the other. And as a result of all of that, it put me on tilt. I played a couple hands bad, so it just kind of goes to show how poker is just really sick sometimes, even if you're playing well. You know, it can make you play poorly at times, and even your biggest hands will get cracked. So that's it. If you guys have any comments or think that you would have played a hand differently, let me know in the comments.